You will need ground pork, bell pepper.
It's the end of the world. It ended when you say bell pepper.
Green onion, garlic, ginger, and tofu.
Are you also that fast when the light goes out?
Woo! Yeah!
Sorry children, don't think 30.
We need this Sichuan pepper for the spiciness, but I can't say you should buy this stuff only for this one recipe.
Wait, what? What? No. If your packaging look this nice, then it's not Asian ingredient. Because Asian ingredient never come in jar.
Is it true what Grandpa MSG says? Let me know in the comments.
Trust me, it's not.
Alan, please don't misinform people that it is perfectly normal to throw garbage on the street in South Korea.
First, let's prep some bell peppers. Please chop them into small pieces. These guys will definitely make your dish more beautiful, so I highly recommend using two colors, green and red. Also, if you want to make it extra spicy, you can replace them with some chilies.
This is not an authentic Mapo Tofu recipe.
You lying to people.
Stay away from sweet bell peppers, they're too juicy and won't really stir fry the same way. Besides that, there are no bell peppers in authentic Mapo tofu. You are using the wrong chilies anyways. No wonder they will get burned so fast. You need dried red chilies and Sichuan peppercorns. Toast them over low heat for a few minutes until they are fragrant and you can see tiny oil splashes. Don't burn them, otherwise you will get a bitter aftertaste. Allow to cool slightly and chop in the traditional way or grind with a blender. Set aside for further use.
Next, green onion. Just finely chop it as much as you want. This time, finely mince some ginger.
I'm just a dumb redhead ginger. You better run.
Packet rice?
Shut up, Grandpa. This ain't the Mr. Chili Jam show. Let him explain.
By any chance, if you have some minced ginger in the freezer just like me, please go ahead and use it. Next, finely chop 2 cloves of garlic. If you have this kind of giant Chinese knife at home,
You can practice your tongue arts.
I'm staring at the tongue in the mirror.
bring it and smash the garlic.
Then spank like there's no tomorrow.
Every time someone use the word spank, I always have dirty thought in my head. Don't spank vegetable. Hiya, so dirty.
Lastly, let's work on the main ingredient, tofu.
Firm tofu has more flavor. Soft tofu has better texture. Choose the one you like.
For this recipe, I'm gonna use soft tofu. Of course, you can use firm or medium tofu, but I strongly recommend this because the texture is fantastic. Trust me, it is incredibly soft, so you will feel the taste of heaven.
Yeah, it could. I know. Stop fingering your tofu.
Aaron likes fingering all the time. Sorry children, don't think 30.
If your tofu is tightly packed like mine, it won't come out easily.
What, are you gonna poke straw and drink your tofu?
In that case, make a small cut on the bag. Then, ta-da! Pretty good tip, right?
Stop fingering your tofu.
Is that finger stuff a habit or what?
Anyway, cut 300 grams of tofu into nice little cubes. The size really doesn't matter, but if it's too small, you can't fully enjoy the texture, so please be aware of that. Now, boil some water in a pot. Why? Because we're gonna blanch our tofu. Our stoves don't have that large flame like Chinese restaurants, so if you just use cold tofu that's been sitting in the fridge for hours, it's gonna take a long time to heat it up, which means it will be more likely to break apart, and you will end up with something like porridge, not mapo tofu. However, if you heat it up beforehand, you don't have to worry about it because we can reduce the cooking time. This little tip will help your tofu survive.
You waste so many seconds telling so much crap, but don't put salt in the water. Put half a teaspoon of salt in 1.5 liters of water. The salt is not to season the tofu, but it prevents the tofu from breaking easily and it also helps remove some of the bean flavor. No need to boil on high heat, just simmer. What are you, the Asian version of Mr. Chili Jam?
Once they are warm enough, gently take them out and set it aside. Now let's make the sauce. In a small mixing bowl, put 1 tablespoon of Chinese chili bean paste.
You messed up everything.
The term dubanjiang in Mandarin Chinese is used differently in different parts of China. In Sichuan, dubanjiang is a reddish-brown salty paste fermented from broad beans and fresh chili peppers. However, in Taiwan, Hong Kong and South China, dubanjiang means types of fermented soybean paste sometimes containing chili and sometimes not. These Cantonese-style dubanjiang can be easily found in Asian stores, but none of them is suitable for authentic Sichuanese recipes. Calling your Mapo tofu authentic is like calling Kia a Ferrari.
Sichuan doubanjiang, also known as the soul of Sichuan cuisine.
Half tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of mirin.
Using Japanese sweet cooking wine as a substitute. How many mistakes can you make in one video? So this is your version of an authentic Japanese Mapo tofu of a Chinese dish.
1 teaspoon of sugar and give it a mix. Actually, we're supposed to use Shaoxing wine.
What stops you? What will you use next? Japanese beer or Korean soju?
I replaced it with mirin because
Stop
I ran out of
fingering.
it. But it's gonna be alright, don't worry about it.
You might want to sing it with some vodka, don't worry.
Biruski.
You don't have mirin either? Then just skip it. No worries. This time, in 1 cup of water, add a half tablespoon of chicken powder and mix it. You can also use chicken stock, and if you don't have both, then just go for water. There'll be slight difference in taste, but it'll be still delicious, so don't worry about it.
Use every shit you want. Be authentic.
Lastly, we need starch water. In a small mixing bowl, put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of water, and mix it. That's it. Now let's get to cooking. In a wok, put 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, 1.5 tablespoons of chili oil.
While the flavor profile of this chili oil doesn't match authentic Sichuan cuisine, it's still better than the olive oil Mr. Chili Jam is so fond of.
And place it over medium heat. If you can't handle spicy food, you can skip the chili oil. Just go for the cooking oil. That should be alright. On the other hand, if you really love spicy food, then just go for chili oil. It's all up to you.
Authentic Mapo tofu does not use cheap chili oil but uses
刀口辣椒. The direct translation of 刀口辣椒 is peppers under the blade.
I'm gonna add 130 grams of ground pork and stir fry it. In this step, be sure to break that up or there's no point of using ground pork. Once it's cooked on the outside, add the green onions, ginger, garlic, and stir fry for about 30 seconds.
No. Spring onion is garnish. It's garnish. You put spring onion as the last thing in your meal. I thought you professional chef. You have website and everything. If you cook spring onion now, it will wilt. It wilt.
Now change the heat to high heat. Pour the sauce around the outside and cook it for about 30 seconds. This will give us the smoky umami flavor that you're looking for. Once you can smell the amazing aroma, add the bell peppers and stir fry for another 1 minute. Since I'm a huge fan of spicy food, I'm gonna add Vietnamese chili peppers.
No. Wrong ingredient.
You idiot, you're randomly using the wrong ingredients.
Some of you might wonder why I didn't put the chilies in the beginning. That's because they burn so easily, especially when you stir fry them in the oil. So it's better to add in the last step and quickly stir fry. Trust me, if they are burnt, it's not pretty. It's not.
Has it ever occurred to you that you are using the wrong chilies? I'd rather not trust Mr. Chili Oil.
Let's pour 1 cup of chicken stock we prepared. Once it starts to boil, add the tofu, half a teaspoon of vinegar, and let it continue to boil for about 2 to 3 minutes.
If you use the right ingredients, the vinegar isn't necessary, but it's okay.
And if you really want to try authentic Mapo tofu, then you can add a little bit of toasted ground Sichuan pepper now. About 1 teaspoon will be enough. If you really don't want to buy Sichuan peppers, but still want some authentic vibe, then let's add a half teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorn flavored oil. It can be a good substitute.
Mr. Chili Oil, does your little brain really think that the authentic Sichuan taste really only comes from the Sichuan peppercorns? I almost got brain damage hearing all your nonsense.
Now to thicken up the sauce, let's pour the starch water and gently mix it around so that the tofu doesn't break apart.
What the hell are you doing? You should do it in 3 steps, not 1. The first step will make the tofu soft and tender. The second step will thicken the sauce. The final step is gluing the sauce to the tofu.
I thought you professional chef.
But are you still worried you will end up with mapo porridge? Don't worry about it. You just need to push it around, almost like scratching the bottom of your wok. Then your tofu will be completely safe. But if your spatula or ladle is metallic or sharp, so you can't do that, then gently twirling your wok can help. But if you get big jelly in your mapo tofu because it didn't work, I'm not responsible.
That's why you have to do it in 3 times Mr. Chili Oil.
Alright, turn off the heat and let's drizzle 1 teaspoon of sesame oil for some extra fragrance and gently mix it around. Now transfer it to a serving plate and a little bit of green onions for color.
Only spring onion as a garnish. Where are your peppers under the blade?
Sprinkle the reserved 刀口辣椒 and the diced scallions as garnish.
See how they differ visually? The previous clip was made with a blender and this one was cut by hand. These peppers under the blade are really necessary to give that authentic mouthfeel. Without them, it doesn't taste the same.
What do you think? It's way simpler than you think, right? You know what? You'll be more surprised if you taste it. Okay, let's go to our taste tester.
Claire.
대박 맛있겠다. I don't even know since when, but I became a huge fan of tofu, and this is one of my favorite tofu dishes. Can't wait. 어떡해. 딱 현지의 느낌이 느껴진다.
What fake authentic vibe are you talking
I
about?
don't want to break the tofu. Ready?
Don't pretend it tastes authentic. You love every food you put in your mouth.
Wow.
Sorry children, don't think 30.
Incredible.
Oh my god!
What happens to your face? You look instantly 50 years older after eating that fake Mapo tofu.
There are 8 characteristics for a good Mapo tofu, which are 麻辣鲜香,嫩滑脆整, translated as numbing, spicy, umami, fragrant, tender, smooth, green, and whole.
How many characteristics does this Gangnam style Mapo tofu have? Leave your comments below.